Greetings and welcome to Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I'll be your host this evening. I want you to know that if you're watching this as a replay, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunt Hangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunt Hangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunt Hangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. When you register, you must use your real first and last name separated by a space. You must also have a valid email address, or Sparky, the proprietor of Stunt Hangar, will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined, even though you're approved, to not come in, but just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. You can enter your questions or comments in the chat box right over here. I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. And I understand sometimes even I can't get a word in myself. So be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comment. And by the way, you only can do that during a live stream. So like I said earlier, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So come in during that time, post your question or comment. And I understand sometimes it might not be a convenient time to stay and watch the whole show, but post your comment or question then and come back and watch the replay at a more convenient time. Now, if you find the Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts that I host, or the many building videos, contest coverage videos that Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Won't cost you a penny to do that, and it helps the analytics of the show. Also, comments, share, chats on the chat box. All those engagements help the Stunt Hangar YouTube channel grow. Plus, please consider joining Stunt Hangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month. That's the first tier. There's two other tiers above that. You got the big tipper, which I believe is about $15 or so a month. Anyways, the $4.99, one is like 17 cents a day. 17 cents a day. And with that, with your membership, you get access to member-only videos. And Sparky and I can see who our supporting patrons are in the chat box, and it just helps your hobby. I mean, and you get to ask questions from some of these greats. I mean, people have been at it for 60 years and plus. Even Sparky has like 60 years plus building. You can ask him questions, and in my show, I have, not all the time, but once in a while, we have a former world champion come in, former national champions come in. Some people who are actual real pilots who understand aerodynamics, obviously, their life can depend upon that. So we have a great cast that you can glean information from, and you can stand on the shoulders of giants instead of trying to start and reinvent the wheel yourself. Now, if you want to get in touch with me, because this is Sparky's YouTube channel, this is not mine. I actually have my own channel. It's called Flying Control Line Stunt. Repeat that. Flying Control Line Stunt. If you go there, if you locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is a video that Sparky shot with his video camera of me flying his beautiful and light Junar XL. Back then it was orange, and I think he's refinished it, and it's more of a white with orange trim. But that was a great flying plane, and it was great for once to be having a beautiful plane next to me, holding the plane the whole time, the whole week. Having a beautiful plane. So that was a great moment in my life, and check it out. Check out the pattern. Check out my flying. Now, I was being very careful with Sparky's plane, so I keep that in mind. But appreciate you checking it out, and if you like and share, subscribe there, that'd be wonderful. Thank you very much. Anyways, I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm now going to post a link at Stunt Hangar. Let's see here. I hope this thing is streaming. I don't know. I'm getting a weird message. Okay, I think I sent that. And let's see here. Is it? Yeah, looks like it is streaming. Great, fantastic. Make my way to the control panel. And just bear with me. My computer's a little bit slow. I've been meaning to work on this. It's just one of those things that you don't think about until you need to use it for the streaming. Let's see here. I'm making my way there. Just hang tight with me. I just posted the link. Now, if anyone's ever interested in how to join the show, you got to register if you're not a registered member of the Stunt Hangar forum. And then once you're approved, then when you get a chance, you come in and get to the link, which is under at the bench, which is right below in memory of our friends. And that's how you get in. Let's see here. All right, looks like it's still coming up. We have 4 concurrent viewers, 3 likes. Thank you very much. I know this is a holiday for a lot of people, and they might think they might have other things to do. I get that. And in the chat box, I have Gary Sinclair. He's a member of our YouTube channel. I can tell by the moniker next to his name. And he's said like provided. He's also the monitor of the chat box, so he can take care of trolls and that kind of stuff for me. I appreciate that. Dennis Adamison, and he's also a member of our YouTube channel, and he supports us. And I can tell by the moniker next to his name. And he says, Charles, you are coming through loud and proud. Thank you. Like provided. Thank you very much, Dennis. Appreciate that. Let's see here. I'm just getting the show started, and let me clear my screen. I have 3 monitors that I do the show with, and yeah, I would hate to do it with one. There's a lot going on, and so I got my screen cleared. Anyway, so I went flying today. I was so excited about going flying today. I mean, I couldn't even sleep. And the reason why I was so excited is because I had this idea. I can't really explain it very well, but the way I sealed the hinges on the stab and elevator, I basically laid the tape over the gap. They didn't go through and up and down in the gap like we normally do, where it actually tape touches the barrels of the hinges. These just laid on top. It's kind of like a flap. As the air would blow it, the idea was that it'd be flat. And I just suspected that was causing me problems because the tape wasn't laying flat. Hey, Dennis, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it so much.
Hey, happy Labor Day. So
yeah, absolutely. Happy Labor Day.
I don't believe I've ever been the first one here before. So hey,
that's wow, cool. Fantastic.
I finally beat Gary in. So
yes.
Gary's always first one here. So
and I got a message from Marcel DeGrand. Thank you, Marcel. I appreciate that. He says, I'm looking great. And he also came in the chat box and says, hey, Charles, or hi, Charles, everyone at Stunt School. Yeah, right. Thank you very much, Marcel.
Yeah, not everybody yet, Marcel, but we're getting there.
We are getting there. Have you ever been so excited about flying the next day that you can't even sleep?
I don't know about that. I've been terrified about flying the next day at a big meet or something like that. You know, you get you get thinking about, just nervousness about a contest or something like that. But no, I don't think I've ever been so excited, that, oh my goodness, I can't sleep. But
yeah, I mean, I could sleep, but I was waking up, throughout the evening.
Yeah.
And so what I had I was working on my plane. I actually put the second trim tab on the inboard side recently, and then I was tweaking that and getting it to fly pretty good. And then I turned my attention to my stab and elevator. To my stab and elevator, I don't remember when Bob Hunt came in, he demonstrated laying down the tape, and part of it he sealed so it couldn't stick to the control surface. You remember how they
Mhm.
laid on, and the idea was that the wind would blow it,
Mhm.
and that the control surface would be really easy to move. Remember that? Well,
I remember seeing that. Yeah. Yeah.
I did that, and but the tape, it started to wave and lift up. It wouldn't lay down all the flat all the time, and sometimes it was just kind of up a little bit. And I just had a suspicion that that was causing me problems. Well, that's what I was excited about, flying it, and I put all my trim tabs back to neutral, and I was just going to see what I got. Well, I got out there and fly, and man, the plane flying even better than it ever has. So because
Mhm.
I was having problems on the overhead 8, it really seemed to
Mhm.
show up that on the outside part, the plane didn't quite free flight, but it really got really light on the lines. And I was trying to overcome that with trim tabs, thinking that it was rolling in on me or something. So I had the tabs accordingly to make sure it didn't roll in on me. So I neutralized those and flew it, and plane flew better than ever. So
That's the
that's
outcome you hope for. So.
yes, and so that's how what I was so excited about, because I was just thinking, if this thing fixes that, that's been a big problem with my. I've talked about this several times about it getting kind of free flighting and getting away from me, losing control of the plane. And
Mhm.
it happens. It happens in certain areas. It really, some places really exacerbate that condition. So, anyways, I'm happy that it's flying a lot better. I put up 3 flights. I had a friend of mine, Keith Bozell, joined me, and we did a lot of talking
Mhm.
and flying. He's coming up. He's hoping to fly and get the pattern down. So have you done any flying, or since last time we met, which was that Friday?
Well, let's see. Since Monday, my wife and I took a road trip and just got back, and I got back to repairing. I think I'd mentioned I had to repair the motor mount on Wes's Velvet 5 before I went back out. So I got into that, got what I think is a good repair, and then I did some things that were eh, a little. The airplane was very nose heavy, and I did something I didn't like to do, but I've gone and when I put it back together, I put a motor that was like 2 sizes smaller than what I had in the airplane. One that I think will be marginally okay for the prop that I want to turn, an 11.6 prop. And but by doing that, I was able to take 2 ounces out of the nose,
Oh wow,
which let me take 1 ounce off the tail. All
great.
right, and taking 3 ounces off an airplane that's already a little overweight, well, a lot overweight. I'm optimistic. I'm hoping for a good return on that. And it's a little breezy today, you know, and so I wasn't able to get out. And then tomorrow morning I got a doctor appointment and some other errands to run, so I may not be able to get out till like midday or so, and it may be a little breezy again. But I'm looking forward to it. No matter, I may take it out no matter what because I think the airplane is very close anyway, and I think I'll be all right with that. So, but
That's
anyhow,
good.
yeah. But I'm not going to lay awake at night thinking about it. I can promise you. I tell you, this is kind of an echo of the story you're talking about. I really like it when I can go out and an airplane that say have been giving me some issues or something like that. I really like it when I can go out and say, okay, I'm going to try A, B, C, and D, and doggone it, every one of them I get a predictable result out of it, and it all
Yes,
comes together. And inside of just a few flights, you make great leaps and everything like that. And I like when that happens. So
yes, yes. Absolutely, absolutely.
that's certainly better than the alternative where you go out and you try this and it gets worse, and you try the opposite and it gets worse again. It's like, holy mackerel, now
Yeah,
what?
like what
Yeah,
gives?
what?
What do I
Where
got
do
to
I
do?
go from here?
Exactly.
So hey,
Let
all
me
right,
just
Tom's here
you
too.
welcome
So
Mark Gerber. Hey, Mark, you was in here next. Thank you for coming in, and I see Garrett Sinclair, and thank you, Tom Ramble, for coming in. But let me hear from Mark Gerber, what you been up to? And happy Labor Day.
Yeah, I got some pictures to show. I went to the fun fly we had here in Colorado on Saturday.
All right.
Why don't you wait till we get some more people here?
All right. Sounds good. That
But
sounds great.
I want to talk to Dennis because I was talking to Keith Throssell on Saturday at the fun fly, and the subject of the 60-degree pattern came up because he's having a lot of trouble with the overhead maneuvers too.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he has an Air Trails magazine, I think he said from 1955, that has a description of all of the freestyle maneuvers that the good guys did back before they had the old time pattern defined.
Right.
So that'd be really cool to get a hold of that and
Yeah, I would like to get a hold of that. So
see if there's anything we can use there in the 60-degree pattern.
yeah, I'd like that. I think well, Mark Wise and I had another discussion on that the other day, and he'd like to see us try to get this thing, exposed a little bit, and he's got some ideas on that. And Joe's using what we started, what we came up with, but I guess what I'd like to see is if we can get people out there looking at this and flying the pattern and trying to figure out how to work it in and stuff like that. I think over time, we're not going to, I don't think it's realistic to expect we hit a home run out of the box or anything like that. But if we can get people thinking about a 60-degree pattern and stuff like that, and then we get, oh, that's okay, but what, instead of that, why don't we do this? Or instead of, or in addition to that, let's do that, So yeah, I'd be really tickled to death if Keith could help us with that. So he certainly had, and the fact that it would be based on some historic data and stuff like that.
Anyway, I'll send out an email to you and Keith, and we can try to see if we can get something going there.
Yeah. Well, okay. I turn it right back on you and say, hey, give me some 2D diagrams, and see how that works.
Let me welcome John Miller as you get your hand raised. What's up, John? How you doing?
Doing well. I came in a little late on the conversation, Denny, but I think I understand what you're talking about. I had a lot of conversations with Bob Palmer as I worked with him on the smoothie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he mentioned that he said back in the day, we used to go to the contests and you'd ask the judges, what's it going to take to win this contest? He said he did that at one contest. They said 8 loops in a row. So he did 8 loops and he won the contest. They kind of sometimes specified what they're going to do that was different. So I don't know if they had a published, freelancing type pattern.
Yeah, I've wondered about that, and almost every year somebody comes up with the idea, well, gee, we should do a freestyle pattern and stuff like that. On one hand, it says, oh, that's great, let's do freestyle, and then what are you going to do? And they might come up with a maneuver, and they're going to say, what the hell is that? And you got to have a diagram or something, and some reason to believe that it's a suitably difficult maneuver, or more difficult than an hourglass, or easier than a takeoff and level flight or something like that. And so which kind of leads you to the idea that you have to have some kind of a published list. Your freestyle might come from this list of 6 or 8 or 10 existing maneuvers. Say, well, I'm going to have to do a triple hourglass or something like that, and and that's what it's going to take. But a description of what that is, so your judges will know what the heck they're looking at, and things like that. It all means something.
I always wondered if freestyle wasn't because they didn't want to take the time to learn the pattern.
Well, there's
that would be cool. What would be cool? Not a freestyle, but an imposed like a pattern, but the organizer makes the pattern. And you have to make whatever they throw at you.
I think that would be interesting too, to have a mystery pattern that the competitors don't know what they're going to do until it's handed to them like 5 minutes before they fly or something like that.
Yeah, before the contest starts, and then they have to look on probably a piece of paper, or like they're probably flying like, oh, okay, that's next.
I want to get one of these armbands like these quarterbacks have,
Yeah,
with all
and
the
then you
plays
have
on it,
to,
put all the maneuvers on there, so I know what I'm supposed to do when.
Mhm. And of course you got to sequester everybody because, you know, the guy who flies first and the guy who flies last, well, the guy who flies last, he's going to have a lot more time to think about it and everything like that, unless you hand it to him 5 minutes before he flies, right? Or, you know, when he's on the circle filling his tank or something like that, say, oh, here's your pattern, you know? So,
There,
and
but you know what?
you take the armband
It's
that, you
luck
know,
of the
from the
draw,
flyer
right?
before. So, yeah.
It's luck of the draw, right? So
Yeah.
everybody draws the numbers first over there. Whoever's the first, shit out luck, right? Or you do two identical patterns, first to last, last to first, and then everybody kind of
Mhm.
gets an equal chance, right?
Yeah. Well, if
If
it's a mystery pattern, then you can't let it be a 5-minute mystery for somebody and a 1-hour mystery for somebody else. That's all I'm saying. So,
yeah.
Let me have a chance to welcome some people who I haven't had a chance to welcome. Gary Sinclair, thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate it. Tom Rammel, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Tryon, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Gordon Delaney, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Stuart Morrison, thank you for coming in, and I appreciate it. And Cha-Cha from Trinidad, right? Trinidad. And thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. And John Miller, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, back to the discussion we're having. The mystery pattern has been tried several times. I think the most successful way it was tried was where at the pilots meeting, everybody was given the list of maneuvers. They got to do one practice flight, then they were all went out for competition.
I like that idea.
That way you don't have to sequester anybody. There's no advantage to being later on in there. It's, you know, everybody's got the same. Yeah. Anyway, that my 2 cents.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I still think the guy who has an hour to think about it and work his way through it and is still at an advantage versus the guy who's 5 minutes away from panic. So
I've been out trying to fly some of these maneuvers we came up with, Dennis. And I came to the conclusion that you need to have some practice doing them because I did the diagrams and I got in the middle of some of them and I couldn't figure out where I was supposed to go next.
well, that's exactly right. That's what I was doing too. And it was, you know, I think with time you'll go through it and you'll know, okay, I do this, then I do that, then I do that, you know, just like we do with,
like I said, the first time through was really,
the first time through is really something.
A number of them wrong.
I did a number of them different, even on, you know, we had consecutive maneuvers and I went through them in 2 different paths, which I thought was an interesting concept too, to make that, you know, you go through a maneuver one way and then go through a totally different way that but hit all the same spots. And it was possible with some of the maneuvers that we had. Would it be desirable? Heck, I don't know. But that's the thing, you know, we're thinking of something new here. And the idea was I didn't want anybody who was flying this so-called the 60-degree pattern to think that they were flying an easy pattern. It still had to be challenging. You know, we've got lifetime competitors. Well, somebody like Keith, who's been flying forever, national champion, many-time event director and everything like that, leader of Pampa, all of these things. He wants to be challenged when he's out there too, you know, and if he has issues and he can't look up overhead, well, he should still be working his tail off, doing something right in front of him. So
I agree.
Like that in RC actually that you're talking about, but I think they have one maneuver, and but they throw it in somewhere in the system, but they give them all ample time to study it ahead of time. So I don't know.
Yeah, but
welcome,
you know,
Ed.
it's
Thanks for
all
coming
things
in,
to
Ed.
look at. So yeah, Ed.
The judges would have to know too, wouldn't they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, even how to judge it, that would have to be acquired understanding, what they're looking for, all that kind of stuff. Let me get to Tom Rammel. I know he came in, and at first I saw the EAA in the back of the that cabinet there. So what's been happening with you, Tom?
I'm a former president of EAA Chapter 878, in Minnesota. And currently I just got put in charge of putting together this build and fly or an RC airplane. And so as part of that, through the EAA, we got a flight simulator. And I put together this flight simulator. It's all in one package so that it's easy to get, you know, you can carry it to the, from, you know, to
nice.
schools, different schools or whatever, as a handle up here.
Wow.
And then the transmitter clips on right here. The mouse fits into a pocket right here.
Very nice.
So it's all self-contained, and you can, I don't know, it's kind of hard to see probably on the through the camera.
Yeah, I could see you're flying something.
Yeah,
Can't see it real well, but yeah. That's cool.
Anyway, so it's to take to schools and different places where we want to train kids to fly RC. And we also have through the EAA, we purchased this whole kit, which is, it's called the Young Eagles Build a Fly kit. And so it includes the this flight simulator and a remote controlled airplane, a 70-inch cadet, SIG cadet airplane, electric.
All right.
And so I'm going to start this month with some kids and start building the plane, and then we'll train on the flight simulator and hopefully get them to fly the cadet eventually.
Very good. Now, this flight simulator, your design, or is it a commercial flight simulator?
It's a Real Flight 9.5, but I designed the cabinet to put it in and mounted the monitor, the computer. So I came up with that idea to
Very good.
just make it all into one compact package. It's easy to move around from school to school.
Yeah,
Or you
very
can
good.
take it somewhere and plug it in and you're good to go. Yeah,
Right.
that's great.
Good
That's
idea.
All right. Hey, Tom, another thing. I understand you're always giving us weather reports from there from Minneapolis. I understand that you guys set a record high today or something like that.
Probably. I don't even know what the high was.
Yeah,
I know it's pretty hot.
it was pretty hot. Yeah, definitely no ice anywhere. So,
No ice.
all right. So,
Well,
I
and
don't think
then
we
we
got as
had
hot as we were
Tryon.
supposed to.
Tryon came in. Tryon, what you been up to? Tryon, did you? I know you've been working on your two airplanes, the Vector and the Saginaw.
Actually, 3.
3.
Uh-oh.
Excuse me. Is that the RD1?
Yeah, well, the Prowler was never flown, technically, right? We only have like a few flights, but just level flights, right? Never trimming, none of that stuff. And so the Prowler over the weekend, I changed the timer on it. I got the climb and dive timer from it's was it something flyer on
Circuit
Stunt Hangar.
Flyer.
Circuit Flyer, yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Anyways, yeah. So I got the timer up and running. I programmed it, went out and I flew it. First 3 batteries are pretty much 1-minute flights, and I put like 15 flights back to back, just trimming flights. And I'll fly 1 minute, do a little change, another minute, do another change, another minute, do another change. You know, kind of get to understand the way the timer works, the programming and stuff like that. And I'm very happy with the timer. I would have liked to see a little bit more bursting RPM over 45 degrees, but if you do like a loop and stuff like that, you definitely see the 242 break. You know, when you and actually it's a very soft break because the motor spools up on the top and spools down, spools up and spools down. It's not like on a like a 2-4, like this thing stays in 2 and then 4. Right, it's a gradual acceleration, right, and deceleration. I like that a lot. So But if you go like in a vertical 8, it spools up over there. And I will like to have a little bit of extra oomph as I go up over the top. Other than that, I really like it. I mean, it's user friendly. Especially we all have some kind of Android or iPhone in our pockets, and you download one app that you have on a phone. We put the timer in programming mode, just go like that 5 times, like tick, 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 tick 5 times, and then goes in programming mode, and you can find it on your phone, and you can do your changes just using your phone with Bluetooth. Awesome.
That is awesome.
So you don't have to buy a programmer, you don't have to buy a Yeti box, you don't have to you know, none of that stuff, and here's something that you have in your pocket all the time. So that's cool. I like that part of it.
That is cool.
So I managed to fly the Prowler. So I had a session in the morning, like those 15 flights of trimming flights, right? And then in the afternoon, I went back and I did reprogram my ESC. I made a mistake in it because I put in a control line and stuff like that, and there's a governor mode, and the timer really hated it because it just didn't do anything. And because the ESC want to go 1 RPM, and the timer go like, no, I'm gonna throttle you to do whatever I want you to do, right? So so they were kind of fighting each other. So I went back home, I defaulted everything back to normal, and I just changed like the brake and some couple of settings in there. Run it on the ground here in my room, right, to make sure this is proper. Went back out and I put the first again, the first 5 flights were just also a trimming session, and after that I put the first 2 full patterns on the plane.
Oh wow, very cool.
So that was that. The Saginaw, it's all glued up and aligned and all that stuff. Wheels, all we have to do just put some wheel colors on it, and so the wheels are not gonna go everywhere they want to go, right? Maybe one little glue joint, some stripes and stuff like that, and that plane is gonna fly this coming weekend.
Very cool.
So this coming Saturday, Saginaw is gonna fly. Hopefully, Vector is gonna fly at the same time. Vector is on clear coats. I have to sand off the paint in some spots where it kind of like looks like sandpaper if you run your fingers over it, right? So I have some bumps, some weird stuff in there. So I have to just touch up with sanding paper, basically. After that, I'm ready to put clear coats, do some panel lines, and throw the timer on it, and the rest of the stuff, and have it ready to go. So that's good to go. Saginaw is going to have the climb and dive timer on it too. So what can I say?
Oh, good.
That's all. I think for $40 the climb and dive timer, it's a wonderful value for the money.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good deal. An active timer for $40.
Yeah, and there's this program off of your iPhone, so you don't have to buy anything else extra.
Right.
What I really like about it is like the KR timer. With the KR timer, you basically tell the timer what RPM you want the motor to achieve, and it monitors the motor. So while it's monitoring the motor is gonna fluctuate the output to the ESC to achieve that number that you give it. So anyways, well, I mean, I told like, hey, I want 9,300 RPM on the first flight, and that's exactly what it does in the air.
Very
Stupid.
cool. Very cool. That's good.
Yeah.
Let me get to Gordon, and I want to welcome the original Steve Smith from St. Louis, or in St. Louis, and then Mark Wise. Thank you guys. Appreciate you coming in on Labor Day. That's awesome. So I think I was going to get to Gordon. And Gary, I don't know if I acknowledge you, Gary, but thank you for coming in, Gary, and hope you're doing well. You doing well, Gary?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm doing great.
Good, good. So Gordon, what you been up to? You been working on your Pathfinder or something else?
Wasn't too happy with the rear fillets and the stab and rudder, so I sanded out what's good and redone them. As soon as it dries, I can sand. I should be able to finish sanding tomorrow, and I'll be ready to start covering.
Great.
When you sand those leather fillets, is it kind of like end grain of wood?
No, these are pliable, they're flexible, and the back is cut at a curve. And so when you push it into the corner of the radius, the curve part becomes 90 degrees. And on the outside, you got a nice radius.
Okay. I've never
Gordon, what
worked
kind of
with them.
glue do you use on those?
Pardon?
What kind of glue did you use on the leather fillets?
Ambroid.
Just regular embroid? Okay.
Phil sent me a tube here about a week ago, and saved the day.
Yeah.
I think Duco would work.
What's that?
I think Duco would work.
Well, if I could have found it, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's the key thing of finding that embroid. It's like you glued it on with liquid gold. I mean,
That's true.
can't find that stuff anymore. So
Yeah. Fortunately, Phil Bailey sent him a tube of it. So
Yeah, they quit making that years ago.
mhm. I think you could still get Sigment, but I'm not, well, probably not, because they basically got out of everything, didn't they?
Tried
So,
to see if I get it from SIG, and they were sold out.
uh-huh.
So, and Duco, I couldn't find any Duco. Duco's what I used to fletch my feathers with when I was shooting my bow and arrow.
Mhm.
That's thin enough, would work just fine with leather.
Mhm.
Gold stuff is a little bit on the runny side, and it soaks in there. But I tell you, if you had to take them out, you're gonna rip half the wood off the airplane.
Mhm.
Hey,
Hey,
Gordon,
Gordy.
you have a fan back there in front of you? I'm hearing like a fan blast or something.
No, nothing.
Does someone have a fan blowing near their microphone?
Nope.
I
Okay.
got crickets.
All righty. It's
Gordy.
not now. I don't hear it anymore.
Aha.
That's
Gordy, I used to use a lot of ambroid, and I have several pair of old pants with ambroid smeared all over them. So if you can liquefy it, I'll send them to you.
My mom used to get so upset because
There
I
you
wipe it off, then wipe it on my trousers.
That's it. That's it.
After about 4 pairs, she went and bought me an apron like they used in the meat department.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I can wipe it all you want on this.
Do
Well,
you
my
guys have any, you guys have any pants that have so much embroid on it that when you take them off, they'll stand up in the corner all by themselves?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a must.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Oh, what's Stuart showing
You
us?
got there, Stuart.
Oh,
Looks like a report card. Oh,
kind of. I don't know, some of you guys know that I was a watchmaker, right? Used to fix clocks. So I bought a bushing machine, which is like a press that pushes the bushings in. These are the bushings.
All
This
right.
is just to measure the arbors. But I use this to measure the wheel arbor, and I've got they come in trays. There's like 120 of these. So basically, you've got on these, there's a flat side,
Right.
and there's a little bit of a well there, right?
Right.
So what I did was, and Len, I think, used washers, but I never really looked at it. So what I did was, hang on just a second, I gotta take this off. Call it off here. So what I did was I soldered it on the inside,
Okay.
and
I see
then
it. Yeah, very
with the
nice.
wall, that's the well side where the solder would kind of
Right.
flow. So I wasn't sure. So I thought, well, I'll do it. It worked out pretty good. So the flat side's actually quite nice and straight.
Yeah. Very nice.
It worked
like
pretty
it.
good. So I know you could use washers, I guess. Yeah, some of you guys use washers because I don't know what people are using on the inside.
I've used washers. I've used eyelets.
Okay. Okay. Eyelets. I never thought of that one. So I don't know. This worked good. So I'm
I've
kind
used
of
wheel collars also.
yeah, you could do that too. So I just thought, well, I thought this would kind of work. So it worked out pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, it looks good.
Just
I
thought
like
I'd do that. So
Is that kind of thing only available for watchmakers? How would you get that?
you can get these. They're called K&B bushing machine. What it is, you have to get them through a like a watch parts supply store. There's one in Toronto. I mean, if you wanted the address, I can get it for you. But it's H&W Perrin out of Toronto, Ontario.
All right.
But they have like zillions of different sizes because these are this plate.
Right. Make it big again. There we go.
Each one of these,
Right.
like for example, this one, there's what 1, 2, 3, 4 different thicknesses.
Oh, okay.
They come in different thicknesses. And actually,
Wow.
I did one here. I'll show you two. Just give me a half a second.
Sure.
Think of this. But so I did this one on the I don't know if you can see that very good. There's one on the tail
I see.
wheel.
Yeah.
So I soldered them. They're soldered on. So
Very good. I like your tail wheel wire too. How you put the coil in there.
yeah, I did that kind of. I thought for two reasons. I thought, well, I needed a wire to hook on for my stooge. And I thought, well, if I do this way, it'll be like a double the spring of the regular arbor, and then if you put the double loop in it, actually be like two different strengths of spring. So hopefully it'll give me a nice cushion to land. So
Very nice.
if you're talking about the rings, the loops,
Right.
that's
Right. Exactly.
So
Hey, Mark Gruber has some pictures you want to share with us from the fly-in last Saturday. Are you ready, Mark?
Yeah, I guess.
Mark Gruber, I mean.
Yeah. Lynn Boss, who's a scale flyer, has his own control line circle in his backyard.
Nice.
Here we go. So this is a satellite picture of Lynn's yard.
Huh.
Wow.
And I
Nice.
maintain that this is the finest control line flying circle in the United States and maybe in the world. I don't know. This is all
Not bad for your
concrete.
backyard.
What's that?
Not bad for your backyard.
No, this is all poured concrete,
Wow.
and it's poured concrete center pad in here.
Looks like an old 45.
And this is Geotex.
does.
Yeah. This is Geotex fabric in the infield there. And then here's the pit area over here. And this is a water feature. He had a circle here that he could put water in to do float flying.
Hmm.
But he hardly ever used it. He says he'd only used it once. He said it takes so much water to fill it up and then it leaks out. So, but anyway, Lynn decided to have a fun fly and invited pretty much everybody he knew in the Colorado area. And here's, well, wait a minute, I'm missing a picture. Well, this is the pit area.
Wow.
This is Keith Trossel's Chiseler here.
Nice.
And this is Jerry Chambers, who some of you may know from VSC. He always flies a black Stuka. This is Jerry's Stuka here. I hadn't seen Jerry for probably 10 years or more. It was fun catching up with him. Well, come on here, let's go. Girl, we're getting it to advance now. Well, hang on. I lost my picture somehow.
No problem. I want to thank you, Tom, for giving us a thumbs up, a like. Appreciate that.
I think we should have a control line Pampa Regional in that guy's backyard.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
well, yeah, here's another picture of
Wow.
Lynn's circle from the ground.
Oh,
That's just amazing.
And this is Leroy Fuhrer. He's a longtime member of the Denver club. He's primarily been a speed flyer, but he lost one of his legs to COVID, what I was told.
Wow.
And so he's got this neat little setup. He's got his stool out there.
Oh,
Okay.
He
Very
can
cool.
spin around on the stool. And I think his left leg is the one that he lost. And so this is the one he uses to spin around on. And he's got an electric plane, so he can speed it, throttle control, so he can speed it up and slow it down.
Nice. Yeah, never give up.
Oh,
Yeah, he's not interested in abandoning the hobby at this point. So
that's great.
Good for him.
here's Jerry's Stuka.
Very nice.
He said he hasn't flown it for 2 years. He took it off the wall and flew it really well.
Look at that beautiful Bearcat.
I took my Bearcat down. Here's evidence that it flew.
Mhm.
And Keith is flying his Chisler.
All right, Keith.
I wonder how many of those he built.
I think
Uh,
6. I think 6.
Yeah, I don't know. I lost track. He's done many
Yes.
Chislers over the years. This is his latest one. He's still working out the bugs and trimming it. This is Lynn's P47. Lynn placed second in the Nats with this in scale sport this year.
Nice.
It's about I don't know, 70 some inch wingspan. It's huge. It's got retractable gear and flaps and does bomb drop and throttle control, of course. There's a look at the cockpit. So he's got a pilot that has character too.
Yeah.
Here's Lynn getting ready for his flight. And it's pretty cool when you see he takes off and then retracts the gear and
Yeah.
he puts the gear back down and lands again.
It's interesting markings on that. The national markings. Is that a Mexican?
Yeah, this is a Mexican marking here. I'm sure he's patterned it after some real airplane because
Well, he must have at scale.
yeah, he was in the sport scale competition. He got second place. So
Now, does he hold the transmitter out there in the center of the circle, or he just has a transmitter during the
no,
setup?
he takes it with him and uses it to control some of his functions. And here's Keith Chisler in the pits. This is a really nice airplane. Here's Jerry flying his Stuka. Jerry hasn't forgotten how to fly either. He's always been a good flyer. And then this is a guy named Bill Ledden, who's another long-term member of the club. And just for a little variety, he brought out this tether car bus. It's got 2 propeller motors on it. And I left before he got the thing going, so I didn't actually see it running around the circle, but I'm sure it was a lot of fun. So
I'm sure.
anyway, the guys were there till Lynn said that they were there talking until 11:30 Saturday night. And I
That's
left
like us.
I left in the middle of the afternoon, but they were obviously having fun. And I checked the weather, and the temperature was pretty hot. It went up to 93 degrees in the afternoon. And I actually put my Bearcat back in the car because it was getting so hot from the sunshine. But I looked at the density altitude; it was over 9,000 feet. But none of us seemed to notice, so we still had a good time. I think we're going to do this some more. Lynn's going to hold a Ringmaster Flyathon in a few weeks on this circle too. So it's a great,
Very nice.
great place to fly.
It looks like it's really smooth and really nice.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's the best flying circle I've ever seen in the United States and maybe in the world.
Wow, that is awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Mark. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
I don't know who you give someone like that when they have everything, it seems like.
It's dedication there, isn't it?
What'd you
Yeah,
say,
he's-
Gary?
That's dedication.
Yeah, and resources. Having
Yeah,
resources to
yeah.
do that. That's
He's
pretty
had that
nice.
circle for about more than 20 years now. He had it
Wow.
poured in the late 90s.
You imagine what it
Yeah.
costs to pour that today? Whoa.
And one of the club members in Denver helped him do it. So I think he did a lot of the concrete work for Lynn. I'm sure Lynn paid him, but I don't think he
Mhm.
had to pay him as much as he would have if he hired a contractor from downtown somewhere.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
just
when-
concrete would have been expensive.
for 20 years, he didn't have to mow anything. So
That's a good point. It's a good point. Let me
Save-
see. I think I haven't given a chance yet to Cha-Cha. Cha-Cha, what you been up to? I glad you came in. It's been a while since you've been in. And I know you haven't been doing a lot of flying lately, but if you have any questions or and then let us know.
Not at the moment. I have not been up to anything with regards to flying or building for a while. So hopefully I get back on the journey soon. I'm just here hanging out with you guys.
No, I appreciate it. Well, thank you. And you're welcome to come in. You know, you don't have to have been flying or have anything to build or show us. So I appreciate you coming in. And then let me turn my attention next to the original Steve Smith in St. Louis. Peace.
How's it going, everyone?
Oh, going good. How about yourself? What's happening with you?
Nothing much this weekend. Weather's been kind of crazy. Maybe by Wednesday or Thursday we'll be able to fly. I don't know. I did have a question for Trayan.
Oh,
He
I didn't do it.
talked about this controller, but I didn't catch what it's called and where do you get it?
Oh, it's a climb and dive. It's called climb and dive timer. And if you go on Stunt Hangar or an electric forum,
Uh-huh.
he's got a version 1.2 or something like that. Steve, I'm gonna send you a link, okay?
yeah,
Oh,
I
that'd
think
be great.
I think it's just
private
called. I
chat.
think the posting is called Climb and Dive 1.2 or something like that.
Yeah,
Paul
something like that.
Emerson. I believe
Okay.
that's the name of the guy. Tryon, does that sound right? Paul Emerson?
I don't know his name. All I know it's Circuit Flyer.
Yeah, Circuit Flyer.
Yeah.
Anyhow, there's some of the guys have had them there, and not a lot have been flying them yet. So Tryon's report is really really good. Haven't heard too
Yeah,
many people
sounds
talk
interesting.
about it.
I
Yeah.
mean, I really like it. You know, if you ask me like for $40, it's worth every penny. I mean, especially if you don't want to spend money on a Jetty box, on a Fioretti system or a Igor system,
Mhm.
because that's the only thing that's going to be this thing.
But you still have to use a electronic speed controller.
Yes.
Of course, with anything.
But which ones does it work with?
It actually works with the cheap ones.
Like Badass or
Badass will work. Any ZTW, I hear some people using those. It doesn't have to be a super expensive timer, as long as you have a brake feature on it. And I'm sending you right now. Original, okay. In the
It's,
chat box. I'm gonna send you this, and then click on the link and follow it. You'll be fine.
Okay.
I just sent it to you.
Very good.
All right, so that's that. Oh, and by the way, I saw you flying with Sparky. I think you're flying your Vector, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I'm flying the, it's a Vector ARF
E.
Electric setup.
Uh-huh.
I have an AXI 282610.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what is it? It's a Phoenix Ice Light 50 controller.
Mm-hmm.
And FM9 speed, FM9 timer.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, I have a Vector 2 with the same AXI motor. Actually, that's good enough for a 60 size plane, but I like to oversize my
Yeah,
motors.
that's what I've heard. But everything I look at online, like on the Innovative website,
Mm-hmm.
if you want a 40 size motor equivalent in electric, it's a 282610. I'd like to go with something, I don't know, had less requirements, so I could use a lighter battery, but I have no idea where to go.
So I had the same exact motor that you have on your plane, or similar, anyways. It's a Joker, the same exact size, right? And I'm using about 55% of the battery capacity for a full flight, 5 minutes and 13 seconds.
Wow.
I'm using a 4,000 mAh battery.
That's
and
way
I'm
big.
using 80% of it.
Yeah, something that isn't right.
No,
How many cells?
It's a 4S.
Okay, 4S, you should be using like a 2700.
Yeah,
even a 2500. Yeah.
I'm using a 4S on my Prowler. I'm using a 4S 2200 milliamps. And I'm using
if I'm using 80% of a 4,000, how can I use something less?
Let's put it this way. I don't use that much on my 65 ounce Knights airplane. All right. With a 720 square inch wing. So
something you're
I don't know
dragging
how
something.
I don't know how you would do that. So
yeah, I don't know either, or something is definitely completely wrong in there.
Well, it's a heavy airplane, I know that.
You sure the battery's not going bad?
No, these are brand new batteries.
Okay.
Okay, and then how do you know it's 80%? Do you put a meter on it, or
I got a little box. It's blue.
Okay.
And
how much do you actually charge when you recharge the battery? How much actually goes into it? 80% of 4,000 means that you're putting in like 3,200 or something like that. So that's what I've looked. Do not trust the meter. All right.
Okay.
Basically, don't trust the meter.
Mm-hmm.
Start with a fully charged battery. When you're finished, recharge the battery and see how much actually went back into it. That's how much.
How much of what? Voltage or
how many milliamps go back into it? Yeah. When your charger, any charger, I think will show you how much went back into it. Okay. And then, just do the math on that. That'll tell you how much for your battery you're using. But sounds to me like you are at least one motor size bigger than you need and 3 battery sizes bigger than what you need. Sounds to me like you got about a 6 ounce opportunity. All right.
Yeah, I hope that would be nice, because that thing is too heavy.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make any sense, because I have just about the same exact motor that you have on a Prowler, which is basically the same wing, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And guess what? I'm using 1200 milliamps in my in a whole flight.
Mm.
So I'm running the same motor on a 10.6 prop.
Yeah, I
Wow.
think I'm using an 11.6.
Okay.
How easy did it balance with a battery that big?
I had to put 2 ounces in the tail.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Let's just say you
Okay.
could make it a very, very happy vector if we can get that under control, get the motor. Before you came on, I was talking about the airplane I've been working on here, and I didn't like the fact it was nose heavy and I had a big chug of lead on the back and everything like that. Well, I did
Yeah.
something that was counterintuitive. I went 2 motor sizes smaller on it and put the right size prop on it, and I'm going to try to make it work. But I took 2 ounces out of the motor compartment. All right.
Mhm.
Yep.
Which meant I took 1 ounce off the tail. So the airplane got
Yeah.
3 ounces lighter. I don't believe that I've lost an ounce of performance in that. All right. I should still, I'm going to be turning my 11.6 prop at a proper RPM to generate a lap time, and I'm going to have plenty of thrust to do the job.
Yeah, I'm on those 64-foot lines
Yeah,
that you
that's what
made,
I'm on too.
and I'm running like 10,000 RPM with a
Or
11.
a 6 pitch. That's crazy. Yeah, that's way too much.
Something doesn't add up. Those numbers
Yeah.
do not add up.
No, it doesn't add up.
The power consumptions that it's something terribly wrong with your motor, or but that's about the only thing I'm putting my finger on right now.
It's almost like
Something's
something's rubbing or something like that. Like there's
yeah,
a drag
motor
somewhere.
rubbing, you're losing a lot of power somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
And an
these
Axie is normally a pretty dependable motor too. You know,
these are older motors that I got from Walt Brownell. So they're what, 30 years old, 20, more than 30.
The only wearing parts in an outrunner motor are the ball bearings, and it's usually pretty obvious if they're going out. So
yeah, it's not crunchy or grinding or anything.
Yeah. But there's no ring gaps or bad seals or lack of piston fit or anything like that.
No.
All the things you grew up with, there's none of that to worry about. So
very good. Let me welcome Keith Trossel. Thanks for coming in, Keith, and Caffeine.
Hey, Keith.
Thank you, Caffeine, for coming in. Appreciate it. I miss you, Keith. I called and left a message. I don't know if you got my message, but I was just calling to see if you was doing all right. So I'm happy to see you.
Okay, I apologize for not getting back.
No worries, no worries. Let me let Ed have a chance to talk to us. Ed, what's going on with you?
I got a few things. I tried to come in the other day, and we had some issues with the Wi-Fi, and so it kept locking up. So that's why you saw me, and then a couple times then I disappeared. Right. It just wasn't worth it and stuff. I got to fly yesterday, 3 flights. Nice. Actually, Mark Radcliffe and I, we had our RC Modelers Club meeting, and Mark and I flew control line, and one guy flew RC.
All right.
And that's so a lot of fun. It was nice. Legs are getting steadier.
Good.
And just a couple of loops, and that was it. I was happy to just be able to still stand afterwards and stuff. Also, it was a short day at the field because I went to another flying club that helped me out during the expo. And Derek King is the president of Fairmont Flyers, and thanks to Mark and Will, they let him try to fly control line, which we've been talking about it, and he was amazed on what it took about getting dizzy, and he was really interested in it. And this is a guy that flies crazy helicopter 3D and the big planes 3D, and he was saying, "Man, I don't know how these guys do it." And I says, yeah, it's very interesting, and that's so a great thanks to the guys that helped out. For Mark Gerber there, I saw briefly about the hurricane scale plans. which was really interesting because when I lived in England, I would help out at the fighter collection, and one of my mates was an engine fitter for the Hurricane. So I got to sit inside and stuff, and when we would go to an air show, we're there with the airplanes, so pretty interesting. So I tried to get on the website to see about the plans, and I did manage to get to that plans or to the club's website, but then all of a sudden, after a couple of clicks, I got security breach and your computer's locked up. You better not do anything. So just a warning out there. It would have been nice to try to see about getting a set of those plans to look at them, but haven't given up yet and that.
Very good.
One other thing, you guys were talking about Ambroid. I brought this up one time, but I don't know if you've heard of this glue.
Make it big here in just 1 second. I'm gonna find my mouse.
Okay.
Let's see here. Here
This
we go.
this is supposedly kind of like an Ambroid replacement that the free flight guys use, and that.
Oh yeah.
What's the name of it?
Well, it's VPS Droid, but actually you go to Volari products.com. Trying to get this clear.
Yeah.
And I haven't used it yet, and I've got a couple of them. It's called Traditional Model Airplane Cement, Nitrocellulose Cement, VolariProducts.com. So you may want to experiment with this, and I haven't yet.
What is it used for mainly?
Balsa wood assembly.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
you
the
check.
free flight guys are using this for building.
Okay.
And so I thought, well, what the heck? If you use CA, a lot of the times that stuff is just so hard to sand. I'm trying to see about using it in different places.
Yeah.
And for me in our audience, how do you spell the Volari?
VOLARE
Uh-huh.
products.com.
Thank you very
And
much.
it's VPS Droid. I will say on that website, I had a little bit of trouble finding it. So if you type that into the search engine, it'll probably get you there quicker than what it took me to find it.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
That. But yeah, anyway, like I said, I had a great weekend, and it was really nice. So, happy to report.
Very good. Thank you. And I see Jim Hoffman came in. Thank you for coming in. Trying to get to everybody still. And then Caffeine. I think you're up next, Caffeine. So what you been up to?
Hi, how you guys doing?
Doing well.
Good. Yeah, I actually went to the field last Sunday, and I flew my two planes. The first is the Japanese ARF, the Seaback, and then I also flew my Factor. For the Seaback, it was all good. It was all good. I actually succeed to do a vertical 8 with my Seaback for the first time.
Very nice.
Good
I
job.
lost so many planes doing that maneuver, so very good.
Yeah, the plane is so good. I got line tension equal everywhere. Good tension, good motor run, and yeah, everything was just perfect for that Seaback. But when I flew the Factor, I still had the problems when I was trying to do the the 90 degrees wing over. It just didn't feel it had enough power to do, like, to go up straight. And then when I was trying to do inverted, as soon as it entered at the top, when it's just hunting, and then no, it felt like no power at all. So I was just I was like, when it was up at the top, it was just like flying a kite because I had no line tension at all. So I don't know. I don't know what's the problem, but this problem happened since I switched back to the stock tube muffler. Yeah, it dropped some power, but it also add some weight at the nose. So in consequence, I had to add some tail weights, and I also changed my wheels from 2.5 inch into 3.5 inch, which is way heavier. I ended up having like 5.5 ounces heavier plane compared to the factor I had when it was just having the tongue muffler and 2.5 inch wheel. So I don't know. I was thinking the plane is just too heavy and the engine doesn't enough power to lift the heavy factor. I don't know. So that's my question. Because when I was having the tongue muffler, my factor was already on the, like, it's still in the tolerance weight range, but almost hitting the too heavy. But and yes, when I added some like 5.5 ounces, yeah, it's just too heavy.
Can I
Do you
ask you
think
a
it's a
question,
problem?
Kathy? I'm
What's
curious.
that?
If you was to hold your plane, have the engine run, and then lift the nose, does the motor speed up?
Yes.
Okay.
On the ground, it's when I tilt it up the nose, it's gaining more RPM. It sounds running faster, but yeah, when it was flying, when it is flying, it's just no power at all.
Now, have you ever put
Does
the
it, does it,
Go
yeah,
ahead,
does it,
Typing. You have another question. Go ahead.
does
What's
it go
that?
to full brake on that?
Yeah,
In
the
the air?
4-2 brake. Yes, I can hear the 4-2 brake on the ground, but when I was flying it, it's just, well, it actually did the inside loops pretty solid. I did several inside loops and it was solid, but when it went inverted, it's just, yeah, it's just lost. No tension at all.
Did it 2.4 in the inside?
What's that? Sorry. Yes.
Did the more blip in a higher RPM on the top of the loop or no?
No.
You have to, your prop is too big then. And then you're running in a different problem over there. Then the separate from that, you have, you said outside loops are too loose or what?
It's just no tension at all.
Okay, because that's probably because you fly with the outboard wing down. So when you go inverted, the outboard wing is up, and that's robbing you of line tension.
Okay.
Now, if the motor runs the same, that's the problem, right? But if the motor runs different in outside maneuvers, that's a different story, right? Is the motor running the same inside and outside?
I'm not sure, because as soon as it hit the top, it's just, when I go up and then going into inverted, it's just, yeah, I couldn't tell because it's suddenly like a free fall, like, yeah, no tension, and then all I had to do just try as best as I could to save it, not to crash it. So I couldn't really tell
It sounds like
whether it's good or not.
It sounds like you might have a warp in the wing. If it's got a warp, if you inverted, if that outboard wing comes up, you're going to lose line tension.
Yes. It's misalignment in the flaps or a warp in a wing. I'll check the warp first. If it's not there, then it's in the flaps. That's what I would do.
I did check the warp, but it's not there, I think. But I probably do the wrong method to check it. But as soon as far as I could tell, it's pretty straight. The wing, the elevator, the flap.
Yeah. So let's
I
talk
don't-
about, okay, there are two separate things. Let's talk about the plane, right?
Uh-huh.
So usually when a plane, if the motor runs the same both ways, inside and
Mhm.
outside, right? You have the same
Mhm.
motor run. That means the motor
Mhm.
gives you the same amount of power, right?
Yep.
And you have it's nice and tight on one side and loose on the other side. That means
Mhm.
you're flying either wing up or wing down. If the wing
Mhm.
if it's wing down in normal flight, that means
Mhm.
you're gonna have tight inside maneuvers and
Mhm.
loose outside maneuvers. If you
Mhm.
fly with the wing up in normal flight, you're gonna have loose inside maneuvers and tight outside maneuvers.
Okay.
Okay, that's one thing. Okay, number two, the motor has to run correctly. So you, by the sounds of it, you are launching it correctly. You
Mhm.
listen to the motor.
Yep.
Probably blips on a two
Mhm.
cycle on a ground, which is
Mhm.
good. You launch it in a range. If
Yep.
it doesn't if it stays in a 4 cycle throughout the loop,
Mhm.
it doesn't break. It doesn't go to the 2 cycle to give it a little extra punching power on the top.
Mhm. Mhm.
Your prop is too big. All you have
Yep.
to do is just clip 1/8 inch of the tips of
Yep.
the prop, like 3 millimeters from both sides,
Mhm.
and try it again. And if it still does it, clip another 3 millimeters and
Yep.
keep going down until you're gonna see this nice clear 2/4
Mhm.
break, right? That's how
Yep.
you nail the diameter. But you have so many problems over there that
Yeah.
you need to sort it out. But I think
Yep.
number one priority, get the motor run right, and start the plane safe. Add a lot of tip weight. You know,
Mhm.
it's a vector. It's an equal panel, so probably 1 ounce of tip weight I'd go with. I mean,
Yep.
I know it's excessive. It's a lot more, but it's a safe, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Then the lead outs should be about 25 millimeters behind the CGE.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's perhaps a very good start point.
Mhm.
Make sure everything is straight and deal with your motor run, and after they can deal with the trim. I mean,
Okay.
there are too many
What
things over
about
there.
the too heavy plane? Is that the problem, or because when I was having the tongue muffler, it was way lighter, and I didn't have any of those problems.
Well, from what you said, when you had a tongue muffler, you also run a different RPM than with
Yeah.
the regular
The
muffler.
problem the problem when I was having tongue muffler, it flies too fast. So now it's too slow, and then no pop. It feels like no power at all.
You added 4.5 ounces to the airplane.
What was that? Sorry, again.
You added 4.5 ounces to the airplane. I thought you said.
Yeah, it's almost 5.5.
That's going to
5.5
make a
something.
difference.
Uh-huh.
That's going to make a difference.
You guys buy the fact that the muffler weighs 5 ounces?
Not the muffler.
No, he added tires.
Yeah, the tires. I don't think that was necessary. You could have changed the vertical CG.
Uh-huh.
I'd go.
What prop you using?
I'd like to tell him to go back to his tongue muffler, but take
Mhm.
the drill and drill the holes bigger.
Uh-huh. I see.
You
And
gotta
take those big wheels off of that thing.
open the holes
Yeah.
up a little bit so you don't
Mhm.
lose a lot of power.
Mhm.
And are you running muffler pressure?
No, I didn't run any muffler pressure at all.
Okay, that's what I would try. I'd get rid of the heavier muffler, go back to the
Mhm.
tongue muffler with bigger
Yep.
holes, and
Yep.
take that tail weight back off.
All right. All right.
Anything you do to lighten the airplane is going to help it.
Mhm. Yep. Sure.
Now, when you run it, can you point the airplane up? Will it pull vertical out of your head?
Uh-huh.
It will?
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
When you hold it straight up, do you turn it
Mhm.
upside down?
Uh-huh.
Is there any difference? Change
I
in the.
didn't try. I didn't try to like go up and then.
Yeah, do that.
It's just an outside chance, but If there's any change in your engine RPM,
Yeah, that's good idea.
Hang on one second. Chacha had a question. I don't think you got a chance to hear it, or the question you asked him, Chacha.
2 questions. I think, as a caffeine, I think you're changing too many things at the same time. So you really kind of pinpoint your problem. I remember you had a tank problem. Your tank was stuck in. Did you fix that problem?
Was that Chacha again? I'm sorry.
Your tank was stuck inside of the Vector. Did you fix that problem?
The reason
it was glued in.
No, it wasn't glued in.
You didn't glue in the tank, the Vector tank?
Tank in the tank?
You mean the fuel tank?
Yes. Was it glued in?
Yep.
Did you fix that?
Yep.
Okay. What prop are you using on that engine as an Enya, right?
Yes.
What is the prop?
My prop was 10.5, 4.5. When I was the tongue muffler, it was perfect, but when I switched back to the stock tube muffler, yeah, it dropped its power. Even though with the same prop, and then I on last Sunday I tried 11.5, but it was still slow.
Is that Enya 45?
35.
35.
55.
35.
35.
So for your info, I think my Vector weighs like 58 to 59-ish. So I think it's just too heavy.
That's a lot for a 35.
Yeah,
that's a lot for 35.
That is a lot for
Any
35.
chance you can get hold of a 40 or 46 FP or LA?
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. So I think I need to lighter the plane.
That plane is ideal with a 46. If you put a 46 on it, you'll be much happier.
Well, even a Brodak 40.
Yeah.
You will see a little improvement.
Big improvement.
Okay, I see. So how on a 35 engine, what should be the weight target?
Well, it's mainly due to the size of your airplane and its inches per ounce. Like if you have 500 square inches, I divide that. What was I dividing it by?
38.
No. It's been so long I forgot.
See, I told you CRS was real.
You divide it by you were dividing it by the ounces. You're coming up with like 13 square inches per ounce.
Yeah. And but at our altitude, I always used a 38-ounce snowblower, and I divide that into it, and whatever they came out inches per ounce. When I build up airplanes for Utah, I check to see if it meets in that envelope.
Okay.
So take the square inches and divide your weight into it.
All right. I'll try to calculate it.
Unless your Enya is a lot stronger than mine, and it could be. That's an awful lot of airplane. I've got a Vector. I fly a Vector.
They're not that big, are they, Phil?
No, it's not that big, but at 48 ounces?
58.
58. Oh God, that's too much power. That's too much weight for a 35.
It's too much weight for a 60 in a Vector. All right.
Yeah.
I think the big thing, you go right back to it. Get rid of the tube muffler, go back to the other. That'll let you take all your ballasting off. And even with your wheels, you're going to get a nice weight savings. Then the airplane's going to have a chance to fly, and the engine's going to have a chance to fly it. Now I'm reading back to the post you made here. You said you got it you're flying the airplane at 5.5 to 5.8 second laps. That
Yes.
airplane
Oh, wow,
simply
that's
can't fly
slow.
that slow. It
No.
simply can't do it, no matter what you have on it. You have to get the
All right.
airspeed up to around a 5.2, 5.3 second lap
Yep.
time, and you'll
Yep.
have a fighting chance. So I
you
don't
Alright.
believe that your engine is too small, but the engine with that muffler, for whatever reason, isn't putting out any power, and that's what you
Yeah.
gotta fix.
Yep.
Then,
Yep.
once you get the airspeed up, once you get, the engine running properly, then all of the things that Tryon was mentioning about level wings and everything like that, they'll start coming into play. But
Yep.
you're right now, you can't trim, you can't change anything with, with wing warps or anything
Yep.
like that to fix 5 ounces overweight. All right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The
Yep.
only
Well,
way you
I'm
could
sorry,
fix
I
that is
didn't.
to get rid of the 5 ounces.
Yeah.
Flex
Yep.
went
Yep.
that slow too, huh, Dennis?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't
that-
know all of the other
okay.
details. If I knew that was flying a 5.3, 5.5, 5.6, I would just so have learned like, oh, okay. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
it kind of
5.5 to
explains it right.
5.8. That's I don't think I'd be surprised if it would if it would even do a loop at 5.8, frankly. But
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
So
yeah.
yeah, well, that I think that makes sense because my CBEC my CBEC it was flying like 5.1, 5.0 and
exactly.
There you go.
yeah.
There you go. That's exactly where you want the vector to be. You get the
Yep.
vector up to that speed, it's going to you won't even recognize the airplane again. All right.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Thank you guys.
I don't
Because
see anything in your APC 10.5, 4.5. I'd take a half an inch off the take it down to a 10-inch and stop. I don't think you have to go any farther than that. That engine should turn that prop at an adequate RPM.
All right.
And but yeah, key thing is get the lap time, get all the weight off of it that you
Yep.
can.
I will.
Then get the lap time down around in a 5.1, 5.2, just like the other, what did you call it? XL? The other airplane?
CBEC.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Because you get the vector there, and then you can come back and tell us about how wonderful your vector is flying. All right.
Yeah, I will.
You get the weight off it and get the airspeed up there. You're going to be a very happy flyer. So
absolutely. Let me interject and get.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome, Caffeine. Let me welcome Philip Bailey. Thank you for coming in, Philip Bailey, and thank you, Bart Kaplinski. Man, you're beginning to figure this thing out. I'm glad to see you. Thank you very much for coming in.
Well,
Bart.
I don't know how I got here, but I did. I started at 6:15.
Well, thank you for your persistence.
I'm sorry.
And it's 11:15 now, so that's a lot of perseverance, Bart.
Yeah.
I think you're stubborn as I am, Bart. Good grief.
But anyways, I want to give Mark Wise a chance. I know everyone's been waiting for a while, and I appreciate your patience, but I'm going to have Mark Wise, then I think Philip Bailey, and then Bart Kaplinski. So take it away, Mark Wise.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey, Steve Smith, I'm glad you're having airplane problems, because that way you can say and be a good judge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's becoming a
okay.
politician.
Whatever you say, Mark.
No. Enjoy everything. I'm just going to repeat a couple of things that maybe people who are on here now weren't on Friday. The best unofficial dates, but they're probably accurate for the Nats, starts October 4th. The Worlds would start October 11th. I mean, August 11th.
Yeah.
August 4th and August 11th.
Okay.
All right. Team
August,
Trials
Could you repeat those dates, please?
yeah. The Nats' first day should be August 1st. I'm sorry, August 4th. And the World should start August 11th.
Not August 17th, but August 11th. Okay.
Yeah, 17th was the last day.
Okay. All right.
We make plans with that.
There you go. So I've been spending most of my time working on the Worlds. I had a secret conversation with Denny on, when was that, yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't tell you what it is. We'd have to kill you.
Okay.
That's all right, we're already dead.
But we're trying to think, we're trying to design an airplane that can fly the pattern rubber power. So
Lord.
stay tuned.
All righty. Thank you very much. And let me see here. Philip Bailey, and then Jim Hoffman, and then Bart Kopensky.
Yeah. Howdy, guys. I finally got to go fly in a contest again. And
Really? Oh, congratulations,
finished,
man.
Well, finished about where I expected to finish, but I did get in. I did get my verticals in, and I did get my overheads in.
Oh, good. That's
and got through them. Now, it was old time pattern. I tried to fly it as a modern pattern, but it was old time pattern. But my little ringmaster persevered, and we got through it. And it just felt good to be out there again. I didn't give a flip where I finished. I just wanted to get out there again. But didn't do near as bad as I was afraid I was going to. Just not practicing much. I think I had 4 flights in the last 3 months on that airplane. Bit me in the backside, but I expected it to. But the good news is we tried to make sure that we had enough people at the contest I wanted him to have enough people to where he'd do it again. And Sunday, I know we had all the storms in Florida and Georgia, and everybody was worried about the storms. There was one person showed up. Kermit Payne was the only contestant to show up Sunday. One.
Just one. Wow, that's too bad.
One. So that was a bad deal. I feel bad for Tom Wiedemann. He put on a heck of a contest. He always does. But these storms really threw him a curveball. But anyway, the weather was gorgeous both days. And we flew today. A bunch of us flew today and had a great time. And it's just, if you ever get a chance to go to that contest, he's calling it East Coast Golden Oldies. And it was a fun contest. There was a guy showed up with a chipmunk. I swear to goodness, it looked just like Roadkill, the one that Chris had. I forgot his name. Chris Cox had. And that was probably the prettiest airplane on the field. That thing was gorgeous. And Tom Looper did not disappoint in old time. He won old time. Buddy Barbie was second. I can't remember who was third, but it wasn't me. And I can't remember who was third and fourth. I'm sorry, guys. But anyway, it was a great contest, and it was a lot of fun. It was hot as all get out. And but it was just fun to get out there again. And I still remember how to start a motor. I was amazed. But we had a good time. Everybody had a good time. And as far as I know, they're going to do it again next year, and it is a good contest. But other than that, we flew again today and had a ball. And I got the good news today was the SV-11 behind me has finally been flown. I mean,
very good.
I finally got the thing flying down in an RPM range that I can fly it. Now I just got to move the lines. I moved the lines a half an inch forward today. Everybody said a quarter. I said, this thing's about to pull me around. I can't handle it much more of this. I pulled it a half an inch further forward, and it still got more line tension than I can handle. So I'm going to have to slow the thing down, but it's flying a 5.1 lap time. I'm going to slow it down just a touch and try to get a 5.2. But unless it's really fooling me, that's going to be one good airplane, because it's got a corner that's just ridiculous. And I've got the battery in the middle of the battery tray in it, and it's got a corner that's just ridiculous. And comes out flat. Now the fun part, I got to check in the tip weight when I got home just to see what the tip weight was, because everybody's telling me the wings are level. It didn't have any.
Wow.
There's no tip weight, no weight in the tip weight box. I said, okay, I must have forgot to put it in, or I took it out to fly the new lines and then forgot, because I put metal lines back on it today. But anyway, it flew great, and I left the other lines at home, forgot them, or I would have been flying them. But we had a ball. We had a really good time today.
I saw the video. Will Davis has a video of the Golden Oldies. It kind of shows the participants and some of the planes. It's a nice video. He always does a good job.
Yeah,
Let me,
Will always does a
Jim
good job. Anything
Hoffman
he does.
get in, and then we have a new person join us, Jonathan Carradas. Thank you, Jonathan, for coming in. So, Jim, have you been doing any flying?
Guys, I
Building?
have to go. Good night, guys.
Oh, take care.
Hey,
You
good
take
night.
care of yourself.
Good night, Ed. Thank you very much.
I've done some of both. I flew yesterday in Tucson with John Callentine, Lou Woolgast. Bart was there. Warren T. Hart was there. Glenn Allison was there. But hot, dead air, but nice morning. Everyone got to fly.
Nice.
For those who care, the Golden State Stunt Championship contest is a go this year. I just got an email. It's in a new venue at Mather Airport in Sacramento. I've been in touch with Jim Aaron. He's the guy running it, and with some help from a few other people. It's the weekend, I think I want to say September 21, 22, that weekend. It's going to be on 2 parking lots that are sort of adjacent to the airport. There should be a mass mailing this week on the subject.
Great, good news.
So that's good news. And I've been in and out of town. I've been out of town on some family emergencies lately, but I did get to finish up all the paint on my Lunar. So all it needs now is clear.
Wow, that's good news, Jim.
Just that easy job of clear coat, wet sand, and buffing. Piece of cake.
Easy job. Okay.
So it's I show it to you, I think.
Yeah,
I got a question. I got a question, Jim. You can answer it while you're getting ready for the other though. When y'all go to fly in Tucson, how in the world do you do it this time of year? I'd have to be out there at 6 a.m. and leave by 10.
We go very, very early. That's right. We're there at sunrise and we fly for a couple of hours and it gets pretty warm. And then we sit under the shade and chit chat.
That sounds about right. We had to leave the field today when we ran out of shade.
Let's see if I can do this. Is this working? Am I showing?
It's working.
Oh, yes.
Being shot.
So there.
Oh, man, that thing's pretty.
Yep.
Oh,
Very nice. Wow.
You do good work.
Nice, Jim.
And it's just going to get shinier, guys.
Yeah. So
Good
I
gracious.
I guess one of the things you're seeing that's new are the decals.
Yeah.
That was a pretty big success. I spent a long time. I probably contacted a dozen decal people, and I finally found a guy that said he could do it. And the reason they don't want to do it is because I was asking for gold, and he says I can't do gold, but I can come pretty close, and he did. And so I had the decals made, and they went on nicely, and they're very, very, very thin.
Oh, nice.
Usually when I put on a decal, after it's dried, I'll come back with an airbrush and I'll put on half a dozen light coats of clear on it. I'll bury it in clear so the edges go away. These decals are so thin that I'm not going to do that. I think just the automotive clear coat on it on the airplane will be thick enough that those edges will disappear. So stay tuned.
All right. Thank you very much. Wow. Let me let Bart Kaplinski come in and then Jonathan Carradas.
Okay, well, it was a nice morning Sunday.
Oh, your mic is working excellent, Bart. Thank you very much. Whatever you did, it's nice.
Pardon?
Your microphone is working best I've heard.
Oh, well, good. I've been playing with this thing for an hour just to get on here, and I've got to have a computer guy. I've got a Chromebook as part of the problem, and I can't get on my main thing, so I'm on as a guest, and it makes a lot of problems. But anyway, we'll get that fixed. But Sunday was really nice, and it was good to see Jim down and all the guys. did have a fun thing. Lou Walgas brought a trainer out, and we got a young man in the air. So he's, I think, in 5th grade, if I'm not mistaken, or 4th grade. I can't remember. But the airplane wasn't running well, or we might have got another flight and actually got him to solo for a little while. But I've met the family out there before, and the way I got to know them, they have a real cute little girl. I used to drive school bus. I love the kids. I took a penny out of her ear, and she didn't know how that worked. It's pretty funny. So anyway, they knew me, and I got a hug from her, and then the little boy, we went out and flew a flight, got a flight in, and he was really, really stoked. He was really, really happy. So hopefully they'll come back out.
Great.
So that's my happiness for the week.
I got a question for Bart. Did you decide on monocoat or polish band?
Monocoat.
So I'll mail it back to you.
Okay, I appreciate it.
All right.
All right, buddy. I got to get something I can do an AMA pattern with in the air. So
there you go.
There we go. And Jonathan Carradas. So what you been up to, Jonathan?
How are you? Well, I've flown a couple of times in the last week. Had a bit of fun.
Very good.
It was wet last week, but just prior to that. I've just been to the doctors. You might be interested just to get some stay alive pills. And while I was there, I said to the nurse, that paper you got lying there on the bed, can I have some of that, please? And she gave me a dirty great piece about 2 meters long. And I'll tell you what, it's that close to silk span. I reckon we might be in business. So I'll let you know how it gets on.
Very good.
If it works, I've got a contact to go through to get more of the stuff. Probably end up with a 100-meter roll. That's the only thing. But it looks very promising. And
I got a case of that stuff, John.
You've got some?
I've got a case of it.
Oh, you got a case full of it. I see there's a bit of debate on Stunt Hangar today about it. I think Dan McEntee said he had some stuff there, and I was pulling his leg, saying, "Well, he's the cause of the shortage." But
well, just let me know if I can help you.
Yeah, no, it's good. I've got some silk here too, which I thought I might try on that Hurricane. I'm sorry about the funny cryptic messages to you, Charles, the other day. I was hoping to get sort of on, but we had sort of weird stuff happen around here. And anyway, one thing led to another, and I didn't get on until now, and I'm running late today. I guess you're probably getting ready to go over the party time, are you?
Not yet. No, we still got another half an hour.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so anyway, I was just going to show the guys that plan. I've just about finished inking it in now. And I'm in two minds as to whether maybe put the 61 in the Mirko that I got from Sparky. I might actually expand the dimensions slightly by about 10% and maybe build it for that 61 Mirko. I had designed it for an LA 46 to begin with.
You have a light case Mirko or the heavy case Mirko?
Say again, sorry?
You have the light case Mirko?
I don't know. They're new to me, but when Sparky was talking about it on his show, he said they were a bit heavier than the Super Tiger, and then he put it on the scales and said, "Oh, no, this is actually lighter by about an ounce."
Oh, you must have the light case then. Good.
Be the light case one.
I have like 3 or 4 Mirko 60, but they're all heavy case.
Oh, right. It's got two glow plugs in it. To be sure. It must be Irish to be sure.
I hope you didn't offend any Irish, I hope.
Did you get the picture of that plan that I sent you?
No, how did you send it to me?
Oh, okay. All right. because if
email
there's
or
time-
through the
yeah, I
press
emailed
release?
it. I emailed it to you because I thought you're probably wondering what the hell I'm talking about. So I sent you that plus the Bruce McLaren badge because it was the 60th for Bruce McLaren the other day, and he's a Kiwi, of course, or was till he tragically ended. And I believe it's Labor Day over there, is it?
Yeah, Labor Day.
I'm surprised you don't all have your coal miners outfits on.
President have our what?
Your
Well,
coal miners. Your coal miners
Jonathan,
gear.
I was in charge
coal
of
miners gear. Oh, okay.
I was in charge of cooking dinner tonight out on the Barbie. And by the time I finished, I had created coal. All right. So
But
So-
Deborah might kick you out of the kitchen. That's probably smart of you. Just
Yeah.
mess it up so she'll just keep
well,
cooking for
that's
you.
it. That's it.
Yeah,
I
you'd
did
be
want
right
to
at home in
say,
my
I don't know if you guys got to see it, but Jonathan posted another really neat poem about
yeah.
aero modeling and what we do, and I really enjoyed that, John. So
Oh, good. Good.
I enjoy your musings there. You are the poet laureate of the Stunt Hangar chat.
If only that was true. I haven't seen any silver yet.
Yeah, I don't see any pictures, Jonathan. So I don't know what email you sent it to, but I don't have it.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, if there's time later, I'll have a look at a bit
All
of a
right.
goof around, and you know what I'm like with this computer. Take you around the world. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of us at the moment. Yeah. So yeah, things are starting to. Well, we get one day and it looks like spring's here, and then we get a couple of days later it just pours like hell. So we're getting a mixture.
So, Jonathan, are you able to stand and fly with no problems now after your hip surgery?
I did in one flight, but I'm still not very confident on my feet yet. I don't know what's happened. I think I was hobbling around on a walking stick for so long. The other half of me's forgotten how to walk and stand up straight. My posture's all buggered up, you know. So I'm going to have to fly as much as I can standing up. I've done it a couple of times now, actually, in the last 3 weeks, with a bit of effort. But I did one flight out of my chair. I flew that ME 262. Oh boy, and it gave me grief. I did some basic aerobatics with it, and the thing wanted to come in and kill me. So I gave that away because I can't run away from it when I'm sitting in the chair.
Right. Well, I saw a photo of Mark Gerber showed a photo of this gentleman who lost his leg during the COVID, and that's when I thought of you. I was just wondering, is John Caradas flying sitting or is he flying standing? That's why I asked. So hope you can continue to pursue standing so you can get stronger, not give in to the chair, because that's not going to make you stronger.
No, it's going to limit.
I hope you can persevere.
But what I'd like to do is put the signal out there to folk that are considering giving it away because they can't stand up or do the high stuff anymore for one reason or another. Don't, because look, it is a pleasure flying it out of the chair. Just being able to get the thing in the air and do some basic aerobatics is an enormous pleasure, just compared to just sitting there and watching the other guys. Okay, you might be able to do everything you did before, but it's still just absolutely magic. You know, it's good fun.
Yeah, so just do everything you can to strengthen your legs, you know, doing leg squats and leg presses. And we got to fight getting old. We got to push back and get our leg strength up. It's not easy. I know it's easier said than done.
What do you charge per hour for personal coach?
I don't have the time. I've got Bart. You have a question, Bart? And I
Well, I
see
just
you.
have a comment as far as getting strong. I have had my fourth session at the gym after COVID. I've gone back, and after 4 sessions, I notice a tremendous difference in my legs and in my balance. It's not there yet, but it's on its way. And
that's good.
I would recommend just going down and finding a trainer and let him know your situation, and he'll form a program and help you. And that's one of the best things you can do.
Yeah, weight bearing exercise.
Yeah. I might just look into that.
Doing the same thing and having
Yeah.
the same results. It's amazing
Yeah.
what it does for your balance.
Oh
same
my!
here.
A lot of it's your ankles. You don't
Yeah.
realize you think it's all your legs, but it's also your ankles are weak.
Yeah,
You know,
and of
it's
course,
probably
well,
lower than that. It's probably actually your feet, because you wear so much shoes. Your feet are not being used to keep you balanced. So
Well,
it's
that's important as well. Yes.
and I
one
think
trick.
a big part of the problem is I'm hanging upside down here like a bat in the roof of the
Well, I turned
Yeah,
around
but
like a little
instead
kid
of,
in
see,
the
we're trying to
trainer
fly up,
one
you're
day,
flying
and
down.
That's
man,
funny.
I was ready to pass out.
Let me let Lynn Burrell in, and thank you for coming in, Lynn. I appreciate it.
Oh
buddy.
my gosh.
Hey guys, good to see you.
Canada has
Hey.
arrived.
Well,
What
we're
you been up
here.
to?
Well, one of us is here. I don't
Oh.
know if there's anybody else.
There's
How are
Still
you, Lynn?
paint-
Good to see you, buddy.
Still spraying and painting. I'm sucking back a lot of fumes today, I'll tell you.
Oh my goodness.
I was sucking back dope fumes all day today. No,
Very
I wear
good.
a mask, but even still, we're getting close now. It's all painted and all the clear coats are on, and yeah, it's just a lot of buffing and polishing now.
Which plane you talking
But
about?
we're good.
What plane?
Impact. Impact.
All right.
The PA-61. So the plane's
that'll be
basically
good.
all painted now. It's just trying to get it done. I want to try and have it done by the weekend so I can fly it.
Yep.
Because I've
an
only got
unfortunate name, Nick.
this weekend I'll be 3 weeks from the stunt trials, so I need to have at least 2 weeks to get this thing trimmed out and flying half decent.
At least.
So I'm putting it a little close, but we'll make it.
Oh my.
We need to be out there every day.
The name's not prophetic, Lynn.
I've flown so many thousands of flights, I don't need to be out there every day. Trust me. I do not need to be out there every day. I go out there every day and the sun and the heat just knocked me out.
Yeah.
We were out there all weekend flying. We had a fun fly here on the weekend. And I tell you, by the time yesterday afternoon rolled around, I was bagged. I was just so done in from the sun. I can't take the sun like I used to.
None of us can.
Yeah, exactly. It just I came home and I was just laid out. Basically, I was done. It's like I was useless for anything for about 3 hours when I got home. I was just wrecked.
That's good. Let me welcome Sparky.
Fine, go
Hey,
ahead.
Sparky, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
And let me catch up on the chat box real quick, and then I'll let you in, Sparky. So Mark Lumen, he said, and he's a member of our YouTube channel. Thank you very much, Mark, for your support. Sparky and I both appreciate it. And he says, got your like. Thank you very much, Mark. And he says, tried to have a get together today, but the win gods were not happy. Charlie Reeves, Jim Lee, Dave Tribble, and myself ended up just spending time just chatting away. Well, sometimes that's just as fun as flying, hanging out with your buddies.
If you got to hang out with Charlie Reeves, you had enough fun. You didn't need to fly.
Yeah,
Charlie
that's
is a
true.
hoot.
Where's
Charlie's a hoot. I don't care.
What was that, Gordon?
We need to hit Charlie up for some ice cream. Every time at the Nats and that have been there, he's makes homemade ice cream there in the motel room.
Really? Wow, that
Yeah,
sounds
great.
Yeah,
I haven't had homemade ice cream, and I can't remember.
yeah.
Wow.
He just opens the door and you wander in, and a lot of people get in there.
Is it the old-fashioned type where you crank, or you use electric motor?
Electric motor.
Okay. Yeah, last time I saw it, we was cranking, taking turns.
Yeah.
And then Philip Bailey gave us a like. Thank you very much, Phil. So let me see what Sparky's been up to. I haven't been able to tune in and watch your Viper progress, but it looks nice, Sparky.
I've been progressing. I'm ready to paint it almost. I keep sanding, and I'll sand it here some more tonight, and tomorrow I'll put some color on it.
All right.
That's pretty quick time. 22 days.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Gotta love beamers.
It looks good.
It's light. It's right as it sits now. All the substrates on, so that's how I know I'm done painting. This is all the paint I have left for the
Wow.
substrate court. So I got about, I don't know, 1/4 inch on the bottom. I can dabble that on somewhere. So I just need to, sand it all out with 400, and then which I'm doing tonight, and then I'll shoot a 1/2 pint of white on the front and the back and the top here and the back half of the airplane. So basically paint the whole thing white. And then lay it out, and I'm going to shoot the second color on it. I won't get to that tomorrow, but I'll get the white on it. And as it sits right here, it's 27.9, but 28.3, somewhere in there. It's
Wow.
right around there. So I'm shooting for 51 ounces. I wanted it sub 50, but it'll be 51.
How many square inches is that, Sparky?
About 720.
Oh, yeah. That's 51 ounces. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah. I had
So
one.
light, Spark. Go ahead. That's so
I had
light,
one at-
Sparky. You might come. You go ahead.
I had one at 48 ounces. It's on the windy tape, but I didn't make it because I just don't have that good of wood.
Well, that's still pretty good.
Yeah, well, beats the hell out of 70.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I got a video for you for the after party, Gordon, to show you Superfill.
Oh, okay.
I got a question about paint.
Go ahead.
I got my twister. I was gonna paint it yellow. Somebody I thought said once to paint it white first.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Sure.
And then I'll put a couple of coats or whatever. I'm just gonna brush it on. This is my first plane, so it's not gonna be anything fancy, but I'll do the white maybe first then, and then put the yellow over.
Let me give you a little secret on brushing. If you're gonna brush, when you brush it, get the brush sopping wet. I mean, fully loaded, and lay the brush. Don't brush like this. Brush with it laying down and drag it across in one stroke, and then stop, and then load the brush again and do it again.
Okay.
And that way you won't have any brush marks in it. Well, a few brush marks.
Yeah. Okay.
Just as a thought, years ago, I read a little thing by Billy Weirwich. He used to use a non-oily steel wool on his I-beam wings.
Absolutely, I got that here. But this is
You didn't get into the ribs as much that way.
well,
Yeah.
got 6 extra coats of clear on it. I took a striping brush and striped each one of the ribs.
Okay.
Six extra times, but I got this is right from the body shop or the paint store. It's a stainless steel wool, and it's 4/0, so it's about as fine as you get.
Yeah, but is it non-greasy or non-oily?
No oil, yes, stainless steel.
Yeah. Okay, then you got it.
But I don't need it. I mean, I just sand it with 400, and then I'm gonna go, when I get the white on it, I'll sand it with 600. If I need it, I got it, just in case.
One other question, sorry, about the yellow when I paint it. Should I dilute it a little bit, or should I just put it on straight? Does it matter?
Oh, 50-50, gotta put
50-50. You can't do it straight.
If he's going to be brushing it 50-50, might be a little thin, won't it?
maybe. I mean, but you just kind of gotta, feel it out.
Yeah, it goes. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to need some thinner, but 50-50 might be a little bit of a stretch for a brush.
In this weather, I'm no expert, but in this weather, I shoot at 60-40. I brush at 60-40, and I haven't been using any retarder, but I just used some retarder today, and it went on so slick. That's probably what I'll start doing from now on. But when I say a little bit of retarder, it was a little over. I started out with about 1.5 pints of dope, and I think I put about a tablespoon of retarder in it. Not a lot at all, but some. And it flowed out better than it's flowed. I'm not been a fan of retarder, and the guys have been telling me I need to learn to use it again, and it's working.
The last
That is
coat of
really
paint
sharp,
on this,
Sparky.
the last coat of paint on this was about 80% thinner.
Wow.
Sparky, is that tailplane, if your elevator's bigger than your stabilizer by a little bit?
No.
Oh, okay.
4-inch at the root.
Okay. Gosh, I must say she's looking lovely. She looks like a nautilus shell. It's beautiful.
Yes, it
It's
is.
a pretty thing.
Yeah.
I haven't
She's
built
got
one
something
of
about
these.
it.
I haven't built one of these in 30 years.
She's nice.
Sparky, the fillets look awesome.
Sparky,
Hi,
were you
Jerry.
able to find that CAD drawing
You like
of
boxing?
for Tiger 60 that you were looking for?
Well, Dennis Nunes said he was going to send it to me, but I never got it.
All right.
Oh, well, I'm live streaming my airplane thing. We got a guy from India and a guy from Australia on, and people all over the place. Gordon's on there.
Charles,
Okay. I
muted.
think I can send you one. I found one.
All right.
So stand by for news.
Okay, that'd be great. But yeah, I could sure use one so I could get it to the guy who's going to do the CAD drawings.
Yeah. Well, hey, you got
You're
the
gonna
airplane built.
publish
What are you
it?
going to do with the CAD drawing? How many have you built without a CAD drawing? So
Right. Yeah, I don't need the darn thing myself, but
yeah.
I think it would be necessary. The reason being is that, yeah, I built this thing, but I laid out the fuselage. If you don't have that CAD drawing for the Tiger, you get the hole for the exhaust wrong.
Yep.
And I did get the hole wrong. I had to add a piece of 1/8 here and a 3/32 here to get the hole right.
Okay.
If somebody's going to build this, they need to, have the right stuff on there.
No, I agree. But it just kind of harkens back. I mean, I built a couple of my airplanes off a freehand sketch on a 3x5 card, and,
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I built many airplanes off a napkin.
Yeah.
I just remembered the numbers, and that's the airplane right there.
Mm-hmm.
This is before the one that's featured in Win Paul's book.
Mm-hmm.
And he put the one in there that was in model aviation, but this one's before. So actually this would be legal, N30 legal right now. The other one had a straight trailing edge, and I like this one better.
That'll fly better in the wind. You gonna publish these plans, Sparky? Sell them?
Yeah, we're gonna sell them. And I got a guy doing a DVD, taking all the video that I did online and editing compressing it and make it in one DVD. I got I think he said right now I got, about 60 hours of DVD video online. I got 200 hours in this, maybe a little over 200 hours building it. But there's 60 on YouTube. I didn't want to bore everybody with the sanding. Matter of fact, one of the guys who came on today said, every time I come on, you got sandpaper in your hand. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Me too lately.
Friend told me a long time ago, I asked him, what is the secret to a good finish? And he says, I'll bring it next month and do it and show y'all. And the next month, Tommy walked in and he opened the box and he dropped a whole handful of sandpaper on the table. And he said, that's the secret to a good finish.
That's exactly right.
I really like the way you did those bring your fillets forward with leading and trailing edge. I think that really looks nice.
I agree.
It's real simple to do. I showed how to do it. You just cut a piece of 64th ply, glue it in there, and then slop it full of goop.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I showed how to do that. That'll be on the video. It's just a piece of 64th cut with a radius, a 2-inch radius, and then glued in there, and then put the super fill in, and then mold it in. I've seen it done, tried a bunch of times, and nobody ever gets it right. I think because they missed that part.
Wow, I wondered how you did that. It looks so nice. Yeah. It's kind of hard to do that with leather.
If you get me your address, I'm going to send you those leather fillets that I got from Bill Sawyer. But if I was you, I would throw all that leather you got in the trash and use superfill.
Well, and Jim Hoffman said he does his whole airplane for 3/4 or a third of an ounce.
What, with leather or
With superfill?
Oh yeah, this doesn't weigh nothing.
It's outstanding. I agree, Sparky. The stuff's amazing.
And time I put my leather and the glue and the spackling on the tail, I picked up just under 3/4 of an ounce.
That's too heavy.
Yeah.
Throw it all out. Get rid of it and get some superfill.
I
You'll be
can't.
the happiest guy on the planet.
It's glued on. It's too late.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
next
okay, well, that's
airplane.
all right. Next
This-
airplane.
This stuff sands just as easy as balsa wood, as I'm going to show you in this little video I got. Well, I got to get it off the Google Drive.
Okay.
And the video's made just for you. I go swipe, 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 and we're done.
It's amazing.
I appreciate that, Sparky.
Let me see if I can find it. I'll play it right now. But let me look for it. So carry on. Let's see here.
Guys, I got an 8 a.m. doctor appointment. I'm going to bail out on you. You guys have a good one. We'll see you Friday. All right.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Dennis.
take care of yourself. Good one
Take
there.
care.
Good to see you, Dennis.
Take care.
Get some Dr. Piper.
That's it.
Oh.
I'll try to get it before he sits my naked butt on it, though. All right. So,
You need Dr. Paper, not Dr. Pepper, okay?
all right.
Oh, man.
Take care, guys.
Tell him you're not been
You
in.
too.
Good night.
Good night. Good gracious.
Dr. Paper.
Oh, y'all are bad.
Oh, yeah.
When Tryon was talking about programming the ESC with the phone, it reminded me of something I discovered just this week. And it's with RC, but Spectrum transmitters now can program ESCs through the transmitter.
Oh my goodness.
And they have a special way to get into it with the selector on the front of the transmitter.
What happened
Then
here?
you use the elevator and aileron stick to select the options.
Hang on a second.
Up and down to select the options, and then left and right to pick the what you want it to.
Hey, Tom,
Yes.
when they do that, I got a Spectrum transmitter. Is that only on a newer radio, or can it still be done on older ones?
It's the fairly new ones, but I think the one I have is 2 years old and it works on that one.
Okay.
Or you can update firmware on them also. But what I used it for, these new servos are digital and high voltage. And
Okay.
and their ESC now, you can select the higher voltage in the ESC, so you don't have to have a separate BEC. There's a selection in there, it's called BEC, right in the ESC. And if you have a certain amperage ESCs, then it can select 6, 7.2, or 8.4 volts for the high voltage servo.
Drive.
Yeah.
And those servos, if you're running high voltage on the servos, it goes from like 100 ounces of torque to like 160 ounces.
Oh, wow.
Just and the speed goes up too. So it goes from
Yeah, it makes a big difference with the high voltage. I
yeah,
don't have
0.17 to 0.13 speed. So it's pretty advantageous to use the higher voltage. There is I did put out a YouTube video that shows how to do it. If you're interested, Stuart, just go to YouTube and type Tom space Rammel, TOMRAMMEL. There's a whole video on how to do it.
Okay.
Good night, all. I gotta go. Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in, Ed.
Very, very nice.
Take
Really
care, Ed.
appreciate it. Really appreciate it, guys.
Take
Cheers.
care of yourself, Ed.
Take care.
See you Friday. Hope to.
What the hell? Oh, the clip I wanted. There we are. Okay, Gordon, you see. Oh, all right. I got the video.
Had his Saginaw up there for a bit.
Okay, Charles, make me big, and I'm going to share this with Gordy. Hopefully it'll play. Okay.
All right.
Now let me see here. Got to back this up. And how do I share this again? Let's see.
Go down to the bottom and hit share.
I don't see it. Apps. Smiley plus. Record on this computer. Share. There we are. Okay. Share screen. There we are. Share.
There we go.
Now I need to wait a minute. Okay, shoot, that ain't it. Hold it. How do I get there again? It's
the same thing. You want to bring up the video first, and then go down and hit share, and then reselect it a second time.
Let's see, new share. There we are. Share. Didn't do shit.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky.
Let me.
I'm gonna go ahead and end the live stream, and we'll just do this in the after party. So let me do that now. Let me see. Let me end the stop the participant sharing, and I'm going to reduce you right now. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching. Hopefully, you have a chance to do some flying or building between now and Friday when we come back and get together. And then Friday, share it with us what you've been up to. And until then, fair winds.